This zone makes money, and it's called prime selling space, and I'm going to show you why. If your best products aren't here, you're losing sales every day. Between comfortable reach and the knees is called prime selling space. Hi, it's Linda McKendry, and I am a retail display and design consultant, and happy to be here to show you. I hope you're a retailer, that you've survived the last few years and you're looking for ways to renew, refresh, revive, and repair your store. These are great things that I work with all the time with my clients, because we look for as much prime selling space as we can in a store, and then we rotate items into that space. So stay tuned, and we're going to show you why. Most retailers don't realize the ease of shopping that this premium space offers. If you sell online, congratulations, you're already selling at eye level, because eye level is buy level. Shops, showrooms, factory outlets, pop-ups, you don't get that advantage by default. You have to design it. Design is dictated by ergonomics, which is the study of human dimension and interior space. So you can see prime selling space illustrated here. And up means reaching or tiptoeing as high as you can. Out means reaching out or bending forward. And down means either bending or squatting to get to a product or to touch a product. Now, the study of human dimension interior space is the name of a book where this chart is taken from. And you can see that the male represented here is like 95 percentile, which means almost the tallest man there is. And the female is 5%, almost the shortest adult female that there is. So we've got the biggest, broadest range you can have. And if the space that is primary selling space is actually X, 84 inches. Think of a doorway. An average doorway height in a house is about 84 inches, 7 feet. And then T, this represents above the product, above the display, or in the middle there, represents 48 inches. And then a ideal countertop or tabletop where products are displayed in your buy zone is 36 inches. So I've got this set up so that I want you to watch these lines come together as the customers go closer to where the products are in the buy zone. And you can see it's going to move very slowly. I've got it slow because I want you to go focus not on the moving, but on the lines coming together. See, the closer that they get to where the product is, where they can touch it and feel it and see it and look up close, see the price and everything, gets smaller and smaller. And this is really important to know. That doesn't mean every product has to be in that space, because most of you need a lot of more space to show your products in. And that is why it's even more critical today, because retail space is expensive. Every square foot must earn it. So how much selling power can you extract from the space you already paid for? Most retailers need as much vertical display space as possible, but vertical space only works when it is merchandised intentionally. I'm going to give you a client case study. My assignment with this client was to display for a drugstore approved luxury French cosmetic line that they were just getting in. The challenge was that the store was extremely crowded and there was visual chaos. There was stuff everywhere, and this store has actually changed over the years due to some of my recommendations, and they no longer have that really cluttered look, especially in cosmetics. So what was my solution? Well, my solution was to build up, to build big, and to find affordable stocked props. So these are little merchandising tips and tricks you're going to get along the way today. I'm looking at sight lines, I'm looking at first impressions, I'm looking at eye level, I'm looking at things to be theft proof. When you have luxury lines, then you have to be very careful where you put items. So when you look over here, and this is the first picture of this corner, you can see it's where you walk in the store and all the carts are there. So firstly, I can hear you saying, well, that's not very theft proof if you've got product out there. But let's take a look at what we had. There's zero product here. There are posters that the company has sent, and there are empty boxes that the company has sent. They call this POP, and they will make POP and send it to you free of charge in most cases if you know what to do with it and use it. And part of my job over the years has been to help my clients take advantage of these if they're selling that brand name, because it's cost the manufacturers cost them a lot of money to produce these, and they're not going to just send them out to any retailer. They're only going to send them to the ones that are carrying their line and doing a good job with it. So I worked with the agent actually of this line in this store in order to get as much of these free props as I could. So you can see what I've done with them. I've got styrofoam columns, I've got styrofoam hands. There's no product here. I've got some little bits of the floral in one hand and bits of floral in the other hand, and a little bit of floral down here. I've turned one box facing up, which shows the brand name. One is down, which does show what the products are. And of course, if you can see the close-up of the products on the poster. So these boxes, I have glued them together, and I have used them for floral arrangement just to create a focal point, and it really balances nicely with this image on the poster of this particular line, which was called Rouge. Here you see that this is where I built the interior one, and the interior one, the only space, I'm not kidding, the only space I could find to put this on was this tower. There was a tower in the middle of the bullpen. They call that a bullpen when you have everything kind of creating a circle there for a service counter. And so there they had a unit in there, and that we could clear that off, and I could build up from there. So you could see what I did. Now, what we have here is the product itself. Okay, not the display, the promotion of it. The product itself is here. It is in the buy zone, right here where the customer can come up close to the counter and see it, right in here. Now, the distance is visibility. So there's visibility of the product from a great distance because of how high I've put it. And there's a very strong brand presence for this line. When you look closer here, you're going to see what I've done here. This is also styrofoam. So we have a styrofoam urn, a styrofoam head, and two styrofoam columns, and we have hands here. Now, in this case, the product is in the hands. I was able to empty some of these boxes here and put the product in the hand, but it's not reachable or shoppable because it's inside and behind the service counter. So this is what we did in this situation. Now here, this is behind the picture from behind the counter. And you can see, I'm sorry, it's not behind the counter. It is the staff member in front of the counter on the other side. Checking her phone, and she's got paper towel under her arm because she probably is helping us do cleaning. Okay, here we see a competitor's line. Okay, so it's kind of above the competitor's line. The competitor's line is displayed here in the cosmetics department. And it's visible from the buy zone because this is the buy zone on the other side. And it's a focal point for the entire department. So it's visible from when you walk in. It's shown in two different places. And mind you, this was their introduction to this line. They were just taking it on. So what I wanted to show, here's a close-up of the other side. You can see that these boxes are different. The other ones had the rouge and lipstick, and these ones have the eye products on it, but the brand, or I mean the line, is still called Rouge. And I wanted to show you the close-up for what I had done with the hands, just to animate them a little and make them look a little bit more interesting. And because they're neutral, they don't compete with the product in color, pattern, style. They really enhance the product. So there you go. There you've got a whole display, a little seminar there on how we do these and put these things together. Now here's what I want to show you. Okay, my solution was to build up using risers, stacked boxes, which are empty, and the posters hanging from high. Okay, how did I build big? I had fewer larger items. I visually filled the space that was given. I made a strong story and a strong statement because these colors are so strong. Where did I find affordable stock props? Well, styrofoam is always inexpensive, and you actually can use paint and different finishes on it to make it look like stone or look like marble or make it black or white or pink or whatever you want to do. You can do that on styrofoam, but it's extremely lightweight, easy to manage. You can stick pins in it, you can stick things on it, so it's just really flexible and easy to use. So I ended up with one urn container for floral, two short and two taller columns, 3 heads, 2 used here and 1 by the front door, 6 hands, 3 used here, 4 used here and 2 over there, and floral stems and picks, which I kind of put in different places just to finish it up and balance it out. So there, now you know that's what I did there. So eye level is bi-level. Eye level lives between the eyes and the waist, as you can see here. This is the next video in this series, which will be coming up and posted after this one. So everything above and below that zone has a job, but it's a different job. Each day products sit outside prime selling space could be lost revenue for you. What do you do outside prime selling space? Well, I'm going to show you that. Above prime selling space is typically for signs, backup stock, or feature displays. Remember, your customer cannot reach it. It is not shoppable up there. Below is for tall items that are easy to reach without squatting, bending over. It's for distance viewing. Now you can see things at a distance when they're low, but the closer you come to them, you saw how that line from the viewing point came up. The closer they got, the more the lines came together. So backup stock and storage also comes down below. So signs and signatures are easy to see. They're above comfortable reach, and they are seen from a distance. So this is what we do, and I use signature walls. I know most places only use them in hotel lobbies and corporate receptions, and they're premium customized. But I don't care if you're the smallest little retailer I'm working with. I want to find one little space, especially behind your counter, where we can do something for you. And I'll just show you a few examples. So here is one of my clients. We did a massage and wellness center for him. The guests know where they are when they come. It's very professional looking. And it's 3D, customized, laminated vinyl, laser cut, and professionally installed. And I designed the logo, so I'm quite tickled to show you that. Here's another client of mine. She painted the wall. That was one of her company colors were the lime green and purple. And she had a custom vinyl logo made to put on that in the silver and the metallic, which showed up beautifully. And it was professionally installed. Now I want to show you one more thing over here, is that all the practical items were on display, were still color coordinated with her logo, so they blend in. These are just little things that we pay attention to, which is why when customers come in stores that I've been a part of helping to do, they're always comfortable and happy, and nothing is visually disturbing them because we make sure that we pay attention to the details. So the do-it-yourself is also a possibility. It starts with picking a wall. So here's my latest client. It's a bookstore. You can see the wall behind the reception counter. We're going to pick that wall. I'm going to make a plan and make it to scale. Then we know exactly what to order. Then we're going to search affordable options. We went online. We found this vinyl tree. And here is Kara sitting on the filing cabinets because she and I did the trunk, and then I had to leave, and so she was left to do the leaves and the birds, and it looks like she's having a lot of fun. Finally, we have visual balance, active with inactive. So once the store is all set up and working, you can see it's just a typical store. There's a bit of everything everywhere. Now it is a bookstore. And this is where people are coming in to pick up what they have. And we have the clock, and we have the filing cabinets. We have some Christmas display. We have a place behind the desk where the staff are working between customers and serving them. So it's a very visually active space and products out in the showroom. But that's why we want to pick a wall that is relatively inactive. Here's signs and signatures do-it-yourself desktop. These are signs I made for them from my printer, and then cutting them out and pasting them onto foam board. And I will have a video shortly that shows retailers how to save tons of money and on demand making the signs that work in your store. So how do we maximize prime selling space? Well, not like this. Unless you rotate 80% of your into prime selling space, you either have too much out of prime selling space, but you have a whole bunch that's not shoppable. So one of the videos, I think it's the third video in this series, is Stop This, meaning I'm going to show you what not to do in that video because it's really important. There are certain things that will trigger your customers in their vision to want to come closer or not come closer. This gentleman is lucky. He's got long arms. He sees something he likes, but he certainly can't step much closer to view it much closer because of the clutter that's on the floor in front of him there. Here's an example of not every shopper is comfortable browsing like this. I know I certainly am not, and most older people aren't. Now, I'll tell you who is. People that are in wheelchairs or kids that are in strollers. This is their comfortable prime selling space, so you can cater to them. This is not the best way to display either, okay? It becomes a hunting mission. It's visual chaos, mental fatigue, deep discount is expected, and you need your assistant dependent. I mean, look at, if she wants to see anything up here, unless this is backup stock and it's already displayed down here, which she has no idea of knowing that, because there's no shelf or anything that would indicate that these products are different from what's available here, she will have to ask for help. And most shoppers do not want to ask for help unless they're pretty sure what they want. Over here, we have a situation where whenever you are hanging face out and you're hanging multiples face out, if they're different sizes of the same thing, that works. But when they're different, each different, and they're so far above comfortable reach, this is barely in comfortable reach here. And you can see how crowded and disorganized it is. The customer is weary and ready to leave before they even start, unless they've got nothing but time, and this is like entertainment for them. So I want to show you a store I did in a very, very remote town where she had the business that sold like a variety store. She sold a little bit of everything in the town. You can see when I got there and I was evaluating her store for her, this was basically her shoe department in her store. Now in a little over an hour, this is what we transformed it to. And we didn't finish because I had to leave to go to the airport, and the shoes down here. But I'm going to show you on the next slide what we did and why we did it and how we did it. Now what we did here is firstly we sorted it, and if you look at it really quickly, you're going to see this is an ideal spot up here for a department sign, icons or images, or even just shoes for every body, or shoes for every age, or shoes or whatever she wanted to put up there that fits her brand. But then at a glance, you can see we basically sorted it so we have the women's on here and the men's. She didn't have very many men's dress shoes, and then she had some very, very few ties. If you don't have enough ties for their whole department, then fit them in with something where they work. You know, socks and ties always kind of go together. And then the hats, we put the hats here. Now this is reach. You can reach up here. If we didn't have to reach there because we had backup stock being displayed here, we could move these shelves all the way up to here, and then we could put feature displays up here, which is what these are. You can see here that in the middle, we kind of have what she considered to be women's sign and men's, but if you have men with small feet and women with large feet, this really becomes more gender neutral. And then down here we had kids things. And you can see that we've got some empty shelves so that she could add more. You also can see the columns between it. Now this is the vertical. I often talk about vertical space. We don't only use vertical space to put products in. We use vertical space to create columns and break up the eye a little bit, and it sets things apart. It makes it easier to see because it creates a border around it, and it holds your eye in the one area where you want to be looking. So that's how we worked on that, and she was all excited about it. I want to just use this opportunity to tell you that I have a guide called Sort to Sell, and it's a free guide, and it's available on my website todaysdisplays.com. Use driven also determines where you want to put things in terms of the zone. Products shown in their place of typical use, but still in shoppers' comfortable reach. So you know that even a pot hanging in the garden center, you can usually reach the bottom of it to unhook it and take it down. But for display purposes, it's hanging just about where you would want to have it at home when you get it there. This is another example for ground cover. You know, for ground cover to be sold on the ground is really quite effective. And then to have some of it up in the buy zone, right at waist level, is where you can pick it up and take it with you easily and quickly. So you need service and staff driven as well. So for full serve or for self-serve, you can see for full serve, product is at her eye level and she's dispensing it there. But the customers can see it from a distance here on the other side of the counter to make their choice. Here you can see this is right in the shop. The customer is going to be a self-serve situation. And again, the labels are there just above eye level, because there's his eye level, just above eye level, and you can see the products on display and then the dispensing that happens in the buy zone. Now, some cases you have disability driven. This is the North York General Hospital gift shop that I was privileged to help them do. So you can see that below knee level is more forgiving when in a hospital gift shop for wheelchair shoppers, but still not on the floor. So you can see that I am just arranging some things last minute just before the store opened. We have got extra wide aisles because it is a hospital where there can be more than one wheelchair passing each other, or strollers, as the case may be. And you can see here that we put legs where we have bases. We put legs. That creates a toe space. So when you have things flat on the ground, firstly, you have products sharing space with dust bunnies. It makes it more difficult to clean in your store. And so in this case over here too, you can see that my client wanted to know where to put the boxes for some of her wall decor, and she just stacked them under there. And that's her privilege. It's her store. She can do what she wants. But we can also see that we have bases. So between bases and legs, I like to do whatever I can to make sure there isn't any product that is touching the floor. And it makes it easier for the customers when there's a toe space. So we have kid driven. So prime selling space for children. And if you sell to children, just do a screenshot of this because it's right here. You can see that their eye level requires these inches. From their knees to the floor is here. From their waist to the floor is there. And the maximum height of theirs is 4 to 5 feet. So in this customer store, in this client's store, Baby and Beyond, you can see that because she did sell to children, we're in there frequently with their moms and their parents, that their prime selling space is actually a whole bunch lower than an adult's. So a lot of times you are safe to put more product down in that level and make your fixtures even smaller and shorter so that those little customers feel comfortable in the store too. Here's another example, and you're showing here that you've got product actually sitting right on the floor, backup stock, and here you've got items stacked in order to put a little display on top. So things are still shoppable and reachable, but these are at a much lower eye level so that children react to them as well as their adults. So sight lines. So always lower in the middle and taller to the walls. Aisles belong to the customers. Their backpacks and their strollers. So you can see here again, I've got the dimensions in here. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you're welcome to do that. Obviously, it's your video that you're watching. And you can see that we always need to make sure we have space in the width as well, not just in the height, but in the width. And especially when you want shoppers to be both able to look at the product within the same aisle or the same space. A main aisle usually needs to be between 4 feet and 5 feet minimum, which is 48 to 60 inches. But in an average circulation zone, it can be 3 feet wide, and you can get away with that, leaving space for the customers to do their reaching and doing their shopping in prime selling space. So here's an example of a store where everything is at prime selling space. The few things that are below are like a big bag of things, easy to reach, or backup stock. And then up here, built up high, you can see this is for visibility from a distance, and this is for comfortable reach, and then more down here. So I know you're getting the idea, because whenever I'm teaching these things, I keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. And carry on here. Here's an example of that same store, and you can see that now these are relating more to an adult buy level. And we have bases down here as well. Bases do help to keep dust off items and keep them off the floor. It also offers opportunity for backup stock in these small areas here. It's easy to clean, and they can lay items down. If they're making comparisons, they want to lay them down, they have a place to do that where it's clean. And then here we have the feature displays that are taking the products that are right underneath them, and I'll show you a close-up of these, which is here. So again, you can see how high up they are and how I have displayed them using the crates, and these are little styrofoam, again, styrofoam things that she had collected, and we were able to use them over the years. It all works together and it's fun. And when you have displays and products and props that you can use over and over again, you can change up your displays. If something isn't selling, put it in a display. That's what I always say. Now, shopper driven. So you can make it easy for any shopper to drift into the space you have created for them by what they see at a distance and what they see close, inside or out. Now, here's an example over here. I've done a lot of pop-ups, and in this case, I would be recommending that she had at least one form, dress form or a T-bar, sometimes they call it a scarecrow, something that she can put one of her t-shirts up high so it's a little bit more visible from a distance. But she has an easel here, so that's showing customers as they come that direction what she sells. And of course, she's taking advantage of her tent to put things at eye level and in prime selling space. Here, everything is in prime selling space in this little gallery, and you can see that the viewers are really enjoying just casually watching it, and it's easy for them to see everything at once. Now, the visual VisiQuad method is to reconfigure before replacement. This is something I always do, and I hope you've noticed that already. This is a map of the store that I just did, and I'm going to be giving more videos about that. And there are 0 walls. This is a bookstore, and there are no walls in here, because what we have done is we have used up the bookshelves that they already had, and in most cases put them back to back. And in doing so, we created these areas because it was a used bookstore. So this part, A, B, and C are new items, and E, F, G are used items, and H is a gathering space with bookshelves all the way around it. This is a coffee area, this is a book sorting area and storage, and this is the cashier, which we took a picture of before, where we did the vinyl on the wall there. Now, this is my associate helping me measure. So we measured everything before we did the plans, the layouts for the new location. And you can see her looking up. Look at her neck is craned way back in order to see where she's going to position the tape measure to measure this. But at the same time, you can see from her where she's standing how she would maybe be able to reach these. I think she can reach these, but she's not going to be able to reach these books at the top here. And this is looking down the aisle at the opposite. She's actually standing here in that picture. So you can see how high these shelves are. And of course, here's a ladder, because you're going to have a ladder to help customers if they're looking at something up here and they want to view it closer. These bookshelves we moved into the new store because they're 6 feet high. So they are a really, really nice height. And you can see here that this was the place called the theology room in the old store. And you can see the bookshelves and how tall they are. And they're not only tall, but they've got stuff on top of them. This is the new store. Number 1, these are exactly the same bookshelves as these, except we have reconfigured them so that they line up. They look better when they line up. So these shelves line up this way, and these shelves line up slightly differently, but they're all together. And it really is like a nice sight line, and it looks good. The other thing we did is we took the colors, and all the brown shelves got put together, and the white shelves are in other spaces in the new store. The other thing you can see, which I have to chuckle a bit because we had a lot of volunteers helping, is that these shelves all had the top shelf cut off. Now, there were 2 reasons we cut them off. Number 1, nobody can reach them. Number 2, you can see a sprinkler here, and the city code and bylaw said that we had to be X number of inches from those, which was not possible if we kept the book shelves at the original length. So again, we reconfigure before we replace, and we did replace some new things in this store, which you will see when I show you the whole story and we go through it all. In the meantime, most retailers do not have a product problem. They think they do, but they don't. They have a placement problem. This is why I've been able to go into stores and we have not done any renovation. We've moved a few things around. Sometimes we have reconfigured things, and we've sometimes retrofitted or refinished fixtures, changed the color up, or made the shelves move or something like that. We've done things like that, but it's amazing how their sales go up right immediately. So my mantra is don't discount display, because with the right merchandising, products look new again, attracting customers without the need for discounts. Check out my top 4 merchandising methods, The Organized Retailer, in a free ebook PDF. And here, let me help. The results of placement by organizing your retail space has these benefits. And this is what my client Velda said when we did her store. Learn how I helped Velda increase store traffic and boost sales 70% in 3 years until she successfully sold her business. She said, these are her words, more productive staff because every item had a place, reducing wasted steps and maximizing efficiency. Organized supplies, saving time and preventing over-purchasing and improving workflow. Engaging displays, customers browsed longer, found add-ons easily, and spent more. And then streamlined customer service, so faster checkouts and strategic merchandising ensured seasonal sell-through. So don't discount display. Aren't those things that you'd like? Aren't those things that any retailer would like? I mean, I want retailers to thrive, survive, make money, enjoy retail, and have time to take time off to enjoy the fruits of their labors. And that's what I'm all about. So stay tuned for the other videos. As I post them, I will come back to this video and put cards in there with links to them. So I hope you enjoy this one, and I will talk to you again soon.